Tom Dempsey. Welcome to the Jazz Academy. I'm here with my friend Ari Roland on the bass and Alvin Atkinson at the drums. And we're going to play a tune called It Could Happen to You, and we're going to talk about it at the end. So It Could Happen to You, E flat. I'll take a little 8-bar intro out in front, and I'll take a solo, bass solo. We'll trade 8s, and then take the head back out.
Tom, you want the bass in 2 on the head or in 4? You got a preference?
Yeah, 2 would be nice, I
2,
think.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, that was fun, man. Ari, you know, one of the things that I was always curious about is what do you like to hear from an accompanist when you get ready to solo?
2 things. I want to hear them listening to me, just the same way they would listen to a horn player or a piano player, and keep it swinging. And if you keep listening, usually keep it swinging. I don't want to hear somebody spacing out or stop playing or playing too much, be in their own world. I want them to be listening to me the same way they listen to the saxophone player, and to keep it swinging all the time.
Right. You know, and that's a great thing you talk about, listening to the soloists, because I also feel like we as rhythm section players have to be conscious of not only the personality of who we're playing behind, but also the instrument and the timbre of that instrument.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I think many times when I'm playing behind, especially in this situation, guitar and bass, I'm very sensitive to the sound, whether the bass is mic'd or not, or however the volume is coming out. But I'm always thinking about the chords that are going on, because I want to interact with that. You know, and the more we interact, it's like having a conversation with someone, and they know you're actually listening. So then they, at some point, they want you to speak. So it makes me very conscious of that, you know, like the way you're playing your mic, you're on electric, so we can play out a bit more, but I'm always listening for the bass, really holding down a pulse,
Right.
making sure that we're connected to support you behind the soloist. And when the bass is soloing, I'm always thinking about comping with my left hand like a piano would, as you would be on your right hand on the
Right,
guitar.
right. You know, I remember we did a gig once, and you were talking about how, like, whenever you get ready to play with somebody, you're always really conscious of the fact that whoever's playing the melody, they're leading the band at that point. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that.
They're the star of the show. I don't care how unknown they are or how inexperienced, the person playing the melody. Remember, in jazz, a lot of the songs we play were very popular songs when they were written, and everyone in the audience would know these songs. So you have a singer trying to put over a song that meant a lot to everyone in the audience. And just because you're playing the guitar or a saxophone doesn't mean that you put any less effort, right? And the audience is going to connect with that song because it's a song that has a nice melody and something they know. And so everyone in the band has to be playing with them as if they're up there with, you know, the great Billie Holiday or Louis Armstrong or Ella Fitzgerald, even if that's the least experienced person in the band or the least famous. And same thing when it's when the soloist. The soloist is like he's playing his own melody. So we have to do the exact same thing. Follow the soloist as if they are Louis Armstrong or Billie Holiday, because that's what the audience is. They're listening to the story of the soloist at that moment. So our job is to, you know, when somebody tells a story, the other guys say, like you just said, yeah. That's what we're doing. We're saying yeah to the soloist story.
And, you know, along those same lines, I mean, part of the reason I love playing with you guys is because I feel when I'm playing up here that we're having a conversation right in the moment. And that's something, too, that I think that a lot of times gets lost in jazz performances sometimes, is when people zone out, like you talk about, and forget, like, there's a conversation going on, not only when you're accompanying somebody, but also when you're taking a solo. And to be able to have that sort of conversation on the bandstand in a performance is very much something I always treasure about playing with you guys.
What you just said is so important, because you hear the great players, guys like Lester Young and Charlie Parker, they play stuff that they know the drummer's going to react to. So they're not just in their own world saying, here comes my D7, here comes my A-flat 7, here's my diminished thing.
Right.
They're playing little rhythmic things. They know it's going to make the drummer play something or the piano player comp something. So the best guys, they make the whole bandstand a conversation, not a dictation.
Yeah.
I think the one thing I like about playing jazz standards is kind of like when I was younger, and even to the day when I'm playing in a cover band, like I played Pink Floyd cover bands and all kinds of music. But the thing is that we're playing all hits. So it's like when you have a hit and you're playing in a band, you have to play that song either at the beginning of the concert or at the end. And it has to be identifiable. It can't change so much that the people can identify what they're so passionate about. So it allows us to kind of slightly alter it, but still keep the character of the piece. And that's a challenge that really allows us more freedom than one would realize.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know we could keep on going on for a long time about all of this, but I hope that you were able to get a couple of good ideas to help enhance your jazz performance. I'm Tom Dempsey here with Ari Roland and Alvin Atkinson at the Jazz Academy.